Welcome to my channel. As you can see, it is extremely windy on this adventure. Even though we shot through wind and rain, we got to come back to a warm and cozy cabin so we can dry off all of our gear and our clothes and enjoy our time on this island. Despite the heavy rains and winds, I'm going to challenge myself to walk away with a couple of unique shots, both along the coast and in the woods, and perhaps even see some wildlife during our fun adventure. Oh, she's a beauty. After a day of driving and taking a few ferries to get to the island where we were going to stay, we were excited to get out and take some photographs. Hello everyone. It is wet out, but we made it to this cove and we're gonna brave the elements. So, camera's not exactly waterproof, so we'll do our best. All right, first things first. Gotta grab things I need, like my tripod. It's my traveling tripod, and my wife's gonna help me film, so let's give you to my wife. Hey, here you go.
Hey.
It's all yours. Hit a lot of mud along the way, which is a lot of fun. All right, let's check it out. So it's really coming down. So we first came out here, it's low tide, it's around 1.6 meters. And what's really cool about this place is it's all sandstone, and so the waves and the currents and even rocks hitting the sandstone is chipped away, and it gives these really cool patterns down along here. And then up against, in this case, this island, the waves kind of carve out, as you can see along here, these really cool shapes, nice and smooth. And then the water coming down from the soil and the plants is creating, I guess, this algae. And look at the colors, really, really cool. So the contrast between the colors of this algae that's kind of sitting on here from the moisture coming down, and the rest of the sandstone, as well as the plants. So you got some weeds and some flowers and stuff that are coming out. More sandstone, and then you got that trunk up there from that evergreen, kind of all work together. So where it kind of slopes in and it gets a little dark, that's the foundation of a lot of my photos. We're trying to do, by we, my wife and I, as far as leading lines, we got these logs here that are nice and bright. But another one that's really cool in some of the photos is this long crack here. And in some of the shots here, it's using that for the base of my photo, and it's really hard to kind of see here. But using that to lead your line up to where this is, and all the color and all the shapes to kind of create a compelling image. So I'm going to take a couple more photos, maybe further back, zooming in and compressing the image a bit. And then we're going to take a little trip along these rocks. It's pretty wet today, so we might just come back tomorrow and see if we have a better chance at capturing some of these stones. The sandstone has got a really cool pattern to it from the ocean and different pools and rocks and currents and stuff. So you got all of these humps everywhere, and the water pools down here in the lower areas at low tide, and this green algae is going around the whole perimeter of these really cool rocks. So it's nice and smooth down below, and then it's got this cool pattern up above. So what I'm trying to do is set everything up on my tripod, and then I grab my focus from like two or 3 meters above it, and I'm pointing it down. Yeah, so I got it all set up here. I set it up to a 5-second timer. Set it up. I gotta warm up before I go back out. It was so windy out that we decided to take shelter in the woods, and up and over this ridge is one of my favorite locations on this island, where there are an abundance of arbutus trees and they are striking to take photos of. I was here 2 years ago and I captured some fantastic shots, and I wanted to get a few more. With this wide angle, I'm looking to capture from the tree's base here with all of this texture all the way up to the cool branches. This is an arbutus. They're really hard to photograph, and with this approach and the blue sky, I'm hoping to create more of a clean layout, because arbutus are very scattered, and if I'm shooting in the forest it can look very busy, but up against the blue sky during this time of day, it's a nice contrast between the nice warm orange and reds to the blues that are really cold. And here's the photograph I took a few years back of this arbutus forest reaching up to the sky. And at that time, there was a whole bunch of eagles coming for the herring that was spawning. And while they were soaring on the wind currents, I managed to capture a couple of shots of these eagles coming by. This is an adolescent bald eagle, and I just loved how this turned out. So after the forest, I decided to walk along the coast, brave the heavy, crazy winds, and we set up the tripod to take this view of this cove here. And one thing that's most important is to keep this tripod and camera sturdy so we don't destroy anything. So I took my f-stop backpack and I buckled it around the 3 legs, and that worked really, really well. And I took this shot. I thought an ND filter might be great to smooth out the water, but really I think keeping it nice and sharp because of these billowing trees. So after that, we hopped back into the Jeep. The sun was coming and going with some showers, but it was time for us to leave.
Is that rolling?
Our gear was still a little wet, as well as our clothes, so we decided to stop by the cabin one last time, fire up the fireplace, and dry out, as well as enjoy some delicious s'mores. Now, if you made it to the end and you liked this video, hit that thumbs up. It would help me out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed already, I would love for you to follow along in my journey and Leave a comment if there's any suggestions or questions you may have. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.